All right. Good morning, everybody on YouTube. Getting ready to let the other people in as well. Good to see you on Monday morning. Hope everybody can hear me talking right into the microphone just for you. Hey, Mike. Hey, Bill. Can everybody hear me on YouTube? Please let me know. Letting everybody else in now. Here we go. Monday morning. Hey, Hugh. Good morning. Hey, Jamie. Good morning. Please let me know if you can hear me on YouTube. Hey, Patrick. LA Child. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. JPG, good to see you. New lunchbox. Miss Cannabis, let's roll indeed. Jamie, interweb guy. Marie, good to see you. Barbara, hello, hello. Good. Glad you can hear me, Hugh. Thank you. Hey, Linda, good morning. Good to see you. Rhonda, good morning. Happy Monday. Sound is clear. Sounds good. Hey, Amanda. Everybody, please invite. Huey, good to see you. Finally caught the beginning. Well, I was watching your last one about Saudi Arabia. Okay, cool. Keep the faith. Yes. Hit yourself with your microphone. Okay, no, but I can look. Watch this. I just got that block for you. ABA, good to see you. The trolls are starting early. Asher, good to see you. Good end of the world, everyone. Asher. Yeah, I know. They like to start early. Ms. Cannabis, what else do they have to do? Nothing. So they come in and they do that. So anyway, it's okay. We expect it. Only got my TV up to 30. Wonderful. Hugh did not. I know. Well, Barbara, what happens is I start to read it and then I realize that it is a troll. But when you're trying to, I'm doing 3 devices at one time, and so sometimes I don't realize that it is a troll until, yeah, I know. But I'm trying. I'm trying to get better. So yes, they are, aren't they, Kelly? Yes, they are. Renee, good to see you. Good to see everyone. Yeah, yeah. I don't troll. Bible prophecy being fulfilled right before our eyes. That's true. What did everybody think about President Trump's trip so far in Saudi Arabia? Thank you, Bill. Facebook Live, Patrick. It's a great trip. Yes, it triggers the left sometimes. I know. Wasn't that great? I noticed some people were coming out. Linda loved his speech. I know it was a great speech. So far as an A plus, I agree with you, Jamie. Happy and proud of Trump, LA Child said. Rhonda says excellent trip so far. Asher, you might just want to get out and come back in, or just refresh your page. Um, Great for yeah. All right, there goes another one. No mistakes, so they have to say he was bowing. Yeah, he wasn't bowing. Hey, Marguerite, how are you? Yeah, he, the guy, the king is like practically 90 years old and short, and so, yep, Saudis love Trump. Israel loves Trump. Melania looks like a Jacqueline Kennedy. Bill said, "I know." Trump is doing wonderful. Hugh says, "Don't like him selling them weapons." But if he doesn't, somebody else will. We've sold him weapons in the past, Hugh, just nobody mentioned it. They gave us, for example, in 2014, $2 billion for weapons. Not a single peep. Why? Because Obama was president. We all need to call each of our congressional reps today to be sure we support Trump, Rhonda said. Perfect idea. Linda said, no fear, he speaks truth. That's right, Linda. Other countries are excited to see him too. Yes. Yeah, exactly. It was okay when Obama did it, so it's not okay now. Do you have an issue with the weapons deal? Well, Jamie, as I just said, they've been buying weapons from us all along. They just haven't been spending as much money. I think the weapons deal is a good thing because now we are obligated by agreement to um, obligated by agreement to protect them if, in the event something happens. This way, they can start to protect themselves. Canada sells them weapons too. Don't like that either, Hughes said. Monique, hey, Monique, good to see you. So, again, it's just something that, you know, it's been going on. It's just now it's being made a big deal of. Congress is out of touch with we the people, and they need to know we expect them to support President Trump. Good morning, JJ. Trump is not a gutless draft dodger. Fin fan said. Yeah. So, well, weapons are money. Yeah, and it does bring $110 billion and about maybe tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of jobs, I guess, to America and to Saudi. Yeah, I know. I would rather give them weapons to do that too instead of having to do that. The world needs more weapons. They should make firearms smaller for children. Yeah, you're so funny. Gosh. Okay. So the other thing is, I think that wasn't mentioned in the news is that Ivanka was also able to secure. Well, thank you. Is that the truth? It will take 10 years for the weapons deal to complete. Yeah, it's over a period of time. It's not just like it's just now. I know Miss Cannabis. They know who they are too. Thank you. Aw, sweetheart. You're so sweet. See you later. Melania is better at being first lady than I thought she'd be, Patrick said. I think that Melania is doing an excellent job, and I think one of the reasons is because of the fact that she has, in a way, done this before. I mean, Trump has always met with dignitaries, and so she knows how to talk to people. It's okay, truth. Uh, President Trump is being treated like a king, unlike Obama, where nobody was on the tarmac to greet him, Bill said. That's so true. Proud of both of them. Now it was 10. Peace through strength and prosperity, Brian said. Melania is a great example of a strong woman, Rhonda said. So anyway, Ivanka was able to secure $100 billion for her women's entrepreneur program, but nobody talked about that. Monique, good morning. Dawn, I loved what is told Trump. You have a unique personality that is capable of doing the impossible. Loved it. Yep. What were you going to say about Melania? Melania, just the fact, Linda, that she's been used to doing this. Trump has always met with dignitaries, um, and so she's used to being in events where she's very stately and professional. They talk about it, compared it to Hillary's foundation. So they don't like the fact that Ivanka got money for her entrepreneur program. Yeah. Bill, the king shook her hand, which is against Islam faith. I know, Bill. That was I saw that. It was like, wow. They did a lot of things. Yeah, they don't like Ivanka, so they're going to spin everything that happens with her. Handles herself very classy, Dawn said about Melania. Okay, Texas, see you later. Hey, Wanda. Wanda, somebody's copied your profile picture and your whole account. I tried to tell Facebook about it, but they said there was no problem. So you may want to check into that and just make sure. So I think you're gonna hear the continued criticisms. Yesterday, some of the pundits were coming out and saying how horrible this deal was with Saudi, how horrible everything was. The way I look at it, there's nothing that the United States lost. Hey, Robin, please, everybody on YouTube, if you would give me a thumbs up and share it, that'd be great. Thank you, Wanda. And so, what did we give up yesterday? Nothing. I mean, we gained $110 billion. We gained jobs. We gained, you know. Good morning, Marlene. So when people are on saying, that the world is ending in regards to financial and what the Americans gave up, we gave up nothing. Thanks, Bill. Bill agrees. So, again, I think pundits will just try to spin this. The left wing media is already trying to spin it, saying that he bowed down to the king. Yeah, they should be supportive while they're overseas, but this president did gain respect, Laura, and he's continuing to gain respect, and I'm sure that the Democrats aren't too happy about that. What do I think of Israel? I love Israel. Support Israel. America had to sell more than just. Okay, okay, bye bye. Does it not hurt your arm to hold that mic? Do you have a mic arm to hold? I do, but thank you. You don't have to. Don't concern yourself with the mic. It's perfectly fine. Let's kind of stick to the subject. Um, so again, when you hear that, you have to basically just remember that we didn't lose anything. We didn't hand over the keys to anybody. We didn't. We didn't. We didn't give up anything. We're gaining. I know sometimes some of the pastors or one or two pastors. I know, Rhonda. They were. Our media is embarrassing. They really are. Thank you, Hugh, for more blocking. You're allowed to debate, but not distract, not be rude, not be disrespectful. There are people who are trying to enjoy themselves, and this is not a place to come and have conflict. We're not trying to do that. We're trying to enjoy ourselves, learn about the news and politics, and be respectful. Linda said we better support Israel or we can say goodbye, world. Absolutely, Linda. Uh, we are supporting Israel, and President Trump made that clear this morning that we are continuing to be friends with Israel. I don't think what they were trying to say is that Israel was really disappointed in what happened in Saudi Arabia. So far, I haven't heard anything about that. I just hear people on the left saying that. So again, when you get your news, you have to understand that. The trip is going to last for a few more days. He's next going to go to the Vatican, and then he's going to Brussels. So it's about a week-long trip. It is sad that other countries treat the U.S. president with more respect than in the United States, Rhonda said. That's for sure, Rhonda. Yeah, 9 days in total. Yeah, I knew it was about a week. That's a long trip. And I'll tell you what, I don't know if you watched him, the president. I don't know how they stayed up. He and Melania and everybody else, they seem to have stayed up all day. I know they got some sleep at times, but I've never seen anybody stand up and stay up that long. It's pretty amazing. And I know right now I was watching this morning in Israel, and he went to the Western Wall. First time that a sitting president has ever gone to the Western Wall. Yeah, I know. His speech yesterday was amazing. He does look great. Trump is like the Energizer Bunny. Yes. Linda, people on Facebook Live don't comment all that much for whatever reason. And yes, you would see them if they're commenting. That's why there are people over on YouTube and Periscope if you really want to get more into a conversation. There are people there in both places that really comment, but Facebook Live kind of is very quiet. For whatever reason, that's just the way it is. Yes, everybody is treating him with respect. Amazing that they flew the helicopters overseas. Yeah, and it's amazing, too, as everything is going on. Um, there are helicopters flying over in Israel as well. Not to mention the jet lag. They're doing fantastic, Robin said. I'm praying for your safety and strength. Monique said Saudi Arabia was very cordial and more respectful to Trump than our own MSM was to him on his inauguration. Both Melania and Trump were greeted with open arms by Saudi Arabia and treated with the utmost respect. Very true. Very true. Something that we haven't seen in a very long time. I mean, people came out to greet him. The king came out to greet him. With Obama, I think they sent, somebody lower down to meet him. And I don't recall there being some type of celebration, but they seem to really respect this president and for standing up. Yeah, I know, Laura. And it's okay. It's just that Facebook Live is very, very quiet. The sword dance. Yeah, and the sword dance, too. I mean, that used to be a sign of war. Now it's a sign that they do for things like weddings and different ceremonies. And basically, I think at one point they invited Melania and Ivanka to join in that dance, which it's a it's a for men only typically at dance. Bill said, from my vantage point, the president is getting a lot accomplished. I agree, Bill, wholeheartedly. Thank you, Litton, for sharing this video. I really appreciate it on Facebook Live. Litton Mullick. Running for president, becoming president are two totally different tasks. He's been doing well. Yes, he's doing well. And, again, it's going to start up again today about how bad things are. The whole Russia theme will start back. I know that the vice president is going to the Hill. I'm not exactly sure what he's going to be talking about, but I'm not even sure that he's going to be having a speech, but I know he's going to the Hill. And it'll be it'll start up with the same thing again. Hey, Jerry Mazel Tov. Good to see you. Mazel Tov Monday. And I don't know if everybody saw yesterday that the vice president was at Notre Dame. And when he was being introduced, the disrespectful students stood up, some of them, and walked out. I'm sure their parents were enormously proud. I know there's no substance, Kyle, to the story, but they keep beating the dead horse. I know disrespectful, shameful, maybe to make a clearer message. I would call them disrespectful because that's not what you do at some place where people are coming there to see their children graduate when they have paid for their children's tuition. You don't ruin an event for them. If you want to make a point, you want your free speech, don't come to the graduation. That'll make a big point. And that way you're not interfering with anybody else's ability to be there. Well, it's also the people, you have to remember it's the choice of other people who have paid money as well. So it can't always be about yourself. Hey, Queen Ladybug Star, how are you? Again, if you really wanted to make a point, then don't show up. Skip graduation altogether. That'll make a big point. Laura says, dysfunctional young adults triggered and needed to retreat to safe spaces. I know. They can disgrace, walk out, but it was disrespectful. Oh, I'm back as a peacock. All right, Queen's Lady. Snowflakes. It is all about themselves. They will regret it later, Huey. I believe so. Fight the racist terrorists at the college park. I don't know what that is about. Okay. You've already put that up once, so it's okay. We don't need to see that again. If everybody who wanted it got it, and if they need it, they'll ask again. It shows their lack of willingness to listen to others. Yes. Monique said Melania was graceful, elegant, well-poised, and diplomatic. President Trump was very well-spoken, resolute, and mindful while delivering his message. I think things will go equally well for him in Israel. So far, it already is. Right now, Monique. Gives the university a bad name. It really does. I think if I were a parent looking to see where I wanted to send my child, I would have second thoughts about sending them there. I would have been ashamed, too, if it were my child. Rhonda said, how are these Notre Dame students planning to attend uncomfortable business meetings? So sad and disrespectful. Well, Rhonda, they'll just get up and walk out because, after all, everybody wants to give them a job. So, I mean, it's kind of like when you've been taught that you can have everything that you want, that you don't have to earn it and work for it. And I'm not saying that all young people are like that. I'm saying the people that act like this, make them pay their own loans back too. Yeah, if their parents didn't already pay for it. Shauna said Melania wearing white, and she almost sat down in a chair with kids at Hospital Garden. But then they moved to another seat, and I'm sure the Secret Service cleaned or put down a towel. Probably. Marie said it's so scary to think these people are going to be running our country if they get a job. Yes, I'd like it twice if I could, Hugh said. And I'm not sure what you'd like twice, Hugh, but maybe you can let me know. Yeah, we're not talking about negative income tax right now, so I'm not sure what that has to do with Notre Dame. We ain't getting no Social Security when we get old. Yeah. Yeah. We're not getting it at all, probably. We don't have to worry about it. It's not going to be around for too much longer. We've paid that out to everybody else. But also, they showed former Vice President Biden, who was speaking at a college. Oh, I see. Thank you, Hugh. That's so nice. He was speaking at a college, and of course, he wasn't getting booed. He wasn't getting people walking out or anything else. I never. Yeah, I know. That's what we all say. ABA. I don't know that Democrats are backing down from that impeachment whine. I think that they just have taken a little time to take a break. Rhonda said reality is going to be a shocker for these people. Monique said that President Trump has a command for respect, likes to get down to business. He's not a procrastinator and wants to get the ball rolling without delay. He has earned the respect from the other world leaders. Yeah, if they get a job, hopefully they'll be laughed out of the interview. Hey, Robert, good to see you. Good morning. Thank you for inviting your followers. Sarah Netanyahu should not wear that yellow outfit with the blonde hair. It's washing out her skin tone, Shauna said, fashion critic at large. I can see you, Kerman. Thanks for asking people to give a thumbs up over there on YouTube. Hope somebody compiles a list of their names. Queen said they're still in campaign mode, bringing up the Access Hollywood tape. I know. Really? Did I? Harry had to leave. Biden not being disrespected at the university proves biased agenda on college campuses. Yeah, so, it's just a different set of rules for different people. Hey, Brian, good morning. Good to see you. Melania is yakking up with the kids. Yeah, she and Netanyahu's wife are going there for a charity. Harry just keeps liking to come back under the same name. Yeah, he is very sad. He wants everybody to say his whole name because he gets a chuckle out of that because he's a child. Not really, but acting like one. That's the most vocal I've seen her. Yep. And I think it's because, yes, different accounts do. Um, I think it's I think it's just because Melania is a very quiet person. Don can't find his mouse. So there's another thing going on. You probably didn't see this in the news because it has to do with Democrats, so they'll keep it very quiet. I have an article up about it today at susanknowles.com. Did anybody look and see about the convention that California had this weekend in Sacramento? Did you hear anything coming out of that? Monique said Notre Dame should apologize for what they allowed the graduated to do to Pence. Catholics have been a bad rap for a long time. Allowing the LGBT students call the shots is not going to help matters. Thank you for checking it out, Kim. Yeah. They're passing out gifts to the kids in the hospital. You missed the California convention. Okay. So I'll tell you what happened to the California convention. There is an outgoing chairperson, John Burton, who basically has a big mouth for cussing a lot. He says the F bomb everywhere he goes, in public, whatever, it doesn't matter. He really likes to do that. So um, basically, at this convention, he was telling everybody to shut the F up. He was telling everybody to F Trump, and he got a chant going with F Trump. Yep. And he held up two fingers and two middle fingers, of course, and said, F Trump, and got the crowd going. Absolutely disgraceful. Yep. And I guess he's the outgoing California DNC chair. Classy, just like everybody else. Yep. In the Democrat Party, who's like that. Yeah. Yeah. He's really a piece of work there, Shauna. He really is. Very disgraceful. Um, Apparently, California's just showing some of the Democrats there are showing who they really are. And then Tony Perez was there. He's the current national DNC chair. Expect no less from Absurdifornia, you said. Yeah, so adult. So Tony Perez gets up and he was booed and heckled when he started to talk because the nurses union in California have decided they want a one-payer system and they're backing that. And California is trying to move California very quickly to a one-payer system. Linda says she's so stunned by liberals, including some of your own family members. I know it's really sad, Linda. It truly is sad. And the fact that people think that they can, the Democrats especially, can go out and say whatever they want to. Some of the Democrats, like John Burton, who don't care what they sound like, they don't care how disrespectful they are or anything else. Bill said, FYI, just listened to Alex Jones' broadcast from yesterday, and he found a clip of Comey stating he never received a request from the Trump administration to slow down the Russia investigation. No surprise. And totally disgraceful, Monique said, superb indicator of who he is as a despicable, filthy, godless person. Shauna said, ugh, a one-payer system will have them all wondering where to get the $40 billion they need per year. It's probably more than $40 billion, Shauna, I tell you. It's California right now, we're paying for everybody, including people who are here illegally. We don't have the money. It is mind-boggling how anybody can support the liberals. Unbelievable. So anyway, that's California. That was their weekend. I know. Um, Queen. He's just one of those people that has multiple accounts, pretending to be, you know, somebody he isn't. Yeah, I would like to. I will do that afterwards, Barbara. I can't right now. I don't have a way to monitor that right now. What I'm doing. Most Western countries have universal health care with state involvement. Yeah, it's called socialism. Do you think he's made more than 10? Yes, I do. They have been lied to and they believed it and they don't consider them liberal. Yeah. I mumbled on that one there. That was a lot that went by at one time. So, also, let's see some good news for veterans. I think this is a really good thing for them. They okay. Hey, Johnny, good to see you. It's called socialism. I didn't say it was a socialist country. If you can report that, Cully, that would be great. The veterans in Maine, there's a group that they're going to trolls create multiple accounts and follow themselves and get other trolls to do the same. I know, Rhonda. It's if they were only being that good and could maybe have a job and they could put their efforts toward that, it'd be great. Anybody else getting wow? My definition of socialism is socialism. You may think it's broad, but when the government pays for your health care and everybody gets free health care, that's called socialism. I know, Johnny. I don't know why. Maybe your connection. I don't think anybody else is having that issue. You might want to come over to YouTube as well, or over to Periscope. No, a welfare state and a market economy. It's called socialism. Don promised us the moon, delivered us the manure. Don said, this count created list understand. Oh yeah, I know, Marie. Yeah, somebody is inviting more people. Isn't that cute? Hold on 1 second. They like to invite their followers to do everything. Oh, LA child, we missed you. Was that a call from the president? So anyway, I where I was is that okay, okay, Ram, whatever you say, it's still communism and still socialism. Veterans are they're going to build cabins in the woods for homeless veterans on a 11 plot in Augusta, Maine. They're building 21 cabins. I noticed a few trying to. Yep, I know, Shauna. Yeah, I know. I know, Marie. Just children, adults acting like children. Hey, Johnny, good. Glad you're over there. Please, everybody on YouTube, give me a thumbs up if you will. Yeah, there's right now ABA. There's no way to put that on there. There's no monitoring on there. Yeah, Jake had to leave too, so Jake's already gone. Hope they insulate those cabinet main cold. I'm sure that they will. But having 21 cabins out there and having the veterans out in the woods, they're putting out in the wooded area, and they say, and I agree with this, that it for people with, let's say, PTSD, kind of having them more out of the noisy city and the everyday like hustle and bustle with everything, that that it can be very therapeutic for them and very helpful. So that's really good. Gotta go. Okay, Linda, thank you. Thanks for coming by. Please share this later if you will, Linda. That would be great. Or share it now. That would be great. Yeah, it is awesome for the vets, Amanda. It would be very good. And I think the vets would really appreciate it because, they don't want to be right in the middle of everything and having people bother them all the time. It's a good way for them to go out and be in a wooded area like that, be able to heal, be able to be amongst other veterans that really understand them. So it's a very positive thing, and I'm glad to see that they're able to do that. So that will be a great thing for veterans, and I wish that more people would do that. I know that they're still going pretty strong in Arizona. Bill said Barry would love living off of nature and roughing it. Yeah, Bill. I mean, being a veteran or not, it would be great to be living off nature and roughing it would be good. The quiet is very good, Johnny said. Yes, absolutely. The deer ranches in Texas sponsor hunts and weekends for vets. That's great. Monique, my tree guy insurance. Okay. All right, Monique, see you later. People don't understand PTSD. Nature heals. No, they don't, Don. Yes, good idea for vets. And I think it's, for Maine, you can't, I know some of the tent cities, type things that they have in Arizona, the weather doesn't get necessarily that bad in Arizona in extremes, but in Maine, you can't have a tent outside, um, unless you've got some way to heat that tent and it's pretty solid, not getting snow and winds and stuff like that in there. So, but anyway, that's Maine. And I don't know, do you think that there's any way that you can think of in your state? Do you think this would be something that they would open themselves up to in your state and doing things for homeless vets like this? That's why you have so many homeless in Florida. Yeah, that's why we have so many homeless in California as well, because the weather stays pretty much the same. Though it gets a little cold in Southern California, we just don't doesn't appear cold to the people on the East Coast. Rest of the city was building tiny houses and giving them to homeless. Was it homeless vets, Jerry, or was it just homeless in general? Or because the thing of it is, I think the homeless population. I mean, when you have veterans, it's a different homeless population um, than just the people who are just regular homeless people. Yeah, Monique loves all things that are natural for healing. Think it was general homeless people. Don said something about remodeling an old school. That's really cool, Don. Hugh said, call the vets illegals and the left will love them. Probably true, too. But it is a big challenge, to try to get something for the veterans. I think I told you a while back about the place in, yep, school buses can be converted to homes, too. That's true. But a while back in LA, they have this property in LA that was supposed to be designated for the veterans only. Been that way for years and years and years. And now they use it for everything but the veterans. There were homes that at one point were built there, like a barrack style thing, I think, for the veterans, and now it's used for storage of. Good morning, Diamond. For storage and for events there, but nothing for the veterans. And I think that's despicable. Some of the homeless here are the druggies from all over America. In California, I know, LA child, that's so true. I mean, it really is. There's a tremendous drug problem. And even among the homeless vets, a lot of times, I mean, you have to, why not the closed military bases? There in some places, in some bases, they are putting barracks there, even on the open bases, for the homeless. And I think that's a tremendous, great idea. Lots choose to be homeless. Some, Marlene, do, but a lot of them are mentally ill and they have a lot of issues, drug and alcohol, and again, just mentally ill, and they can't help it. I mean, we used to keep those people in hospitals or places like that, but we decided that wasn't the thing to do, and so we turned them out on the streets, and they're not getting the care. Some of the veterans don't get the care for some of the services they need. Some of the homeless veterans. So, uh, you know, we've got to do better for the veterans. And I know with the new administration and everything else, exactly who would really choose it with a sane mind. But a lot of times, Marlene, if you have a mental illness, you don't comply with things because there are a lot of people who have, for example, bipolar disorder, and they start taking their medication, and as soon as they start feeling better, they stop taking their medication because they feel so, they feel like, oh, I don't need my medication anymore, and that's not true. Yeah, I mean, and so then Marlene, and so some of these people, a lot of them, they can't get to their appointments. Some of them don't want to go to the appointments. Yeah, and if people with bipolar issues, if they stop taking their medication, they find out right away. Well, they don't necessarily know it, but the family members notice that they're not doing well. Sometimes mentally ill are the last to know they're ill. Just my point, LA child, right? Good timing. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I know. I mean, I work with, I've had clients who are veterans with PTSD. I've had people with bipolar and all kinds of mental disorders. And, a lot of times they try to do the best they can. But a lot of times, too, if they don't have the support, they have extensive help programs, but sometimes, Marlene, they're not the best. This is more serious bipolar and schizophrenia, but this is with more serious bipolar. Yes, yes. I mean, the veterans that you see on the street, a lot of them have been homeless for a long period of time, been mentally ill for a long period of time. PTSD is trickiest since it's so unique to each individual. And see, I really do wish, LA Child, that they would offer more HBOT, which is the hyperbaric oxygen therapy, because the people who do that, the doctors who do that, swear by that. And I know that they're trying to get that. The veterans really want that. Don said, we don't fit society's norm, thus we are abnormal, Don said. Don's a veteran. I feel for them. Don't get me wrong. Oh, no, I understand, Marlene. So, you just have to, again, I think what works best for veterans, and I'm not a veteran. They can tell me, Don and Bill, and other people who are. I think they like working with other veterans. They like working with people who understand them. And I think sometimes when they go, let's say, to a doctor that's never treated a veteran before, they don't understand a veteran, never had a veteran in their family, they don't know how to talk to them, and they're treating them like everybody else. And that they can't be treated like everybody else because they're not like everybody else. And a lot of them, they're not getting the care that they need from the VA hospital. And there's been so much going on there. Veterans have been reported of being mentally ill and being a threat to themselves or others, and they walk right out of the hospital because nobody's watching them. I know a vet should never be homeless in America. Asher said, absolutely. 100% agree with that. And so I really do like the cabins that are being built, the tents that are going up. I think it's great. Yeah, the VA, and some people swear by the VA and they love the VA, but most veterans that I've spoken with don't like the VA at all. They need to offer more mental health services. Bipolar and schizophrenia are diseases, too many stigma. Sean, a local homeless man here, was approached about getting help. They took him in and got him cleaned up, fresh clothes, food, and a roof over his head, then found out he had $40,000 plus in a checking account. Woo! And Don said the vets will and never will be like anybody else. That's why they have to do an investigation on people, Shauna. That's a good point that Shauna brings up. You have to look and see who you're really dealing with. Are people scam artists, which I don't think the veterans are. But, there are other people out there who are scam artists. A lot of people who in California are holding up signs saying they need food and clothing and all that. They get a lot of money and they're not paying taxes. That's not everybody, but there are people out there who do that type of thing. And it's a shame because it hurts everybody else. Can build schools and hospitals but cannot walk around in one. That's what Don said at the VA. Yeah, I mean, it's shameful the type of treatment that some veterans receive. Hey, Donna, good to see you. You're not interrupting. Don't worry about it. So there was some other news. Asher okay, you're talking with Shauna. In some other news that was probably never hear about. This is something I think that a lot of us should kind of remember, and it could happen to anybody. There was a grandmother who was babysitting her infant grandson in Cleveland over the weekend. Uh, oh, wow. So, Shauna, he wasn't really the veteran said a long time ago he forgot how to get into his account. Then, as time went on, he forgot he had it. So maybe he wasn't scamming. Maybe he truly did forget. But anyway, this grandmother in Cleveland, I guess this happened around Mother's Day. Actually, I thought it was over the weekend, but it was more around Mother's Day. What happened was the doorbell rang. There were some men who brought flowers and balloons to the door. She went to the door to open it because she thought, I'm getting a delivery of flowers and balloons and, for Mother's Day. So she opens the door and these men came in, held her and her grandson basically hostage, went upstairs and started ransacking the house. The guy who was holding a gun on her said, the guys upstairs are crazier than I am. So make sure that, you just sit still and don't cause trouble. All this is being alleged. Yes, I know. Horrible. So basically, thank God, the grandmother and the infant were unharmed, and these people left after taking, whatever they wanted from her in the house. I don't know how much they got away with. But I think that's good for all of us. I mean, how many times, when people come to the door and you think that they're safe, that they're delivering something, and you open the door. I mean, how many times could somebody do that with UPS or something else? So I think, as time goes on and everything else, we need to kind of be cognizant of what's going on. I don't know, Bill. That wasn't really the part of the story that I was interested in. But, there could be some DNA on those balloons and stuff. Always have dogs and weapons in your house, Patrick said. Ring.com doorbell system is great, all on camera. Yes. The thing about it is, sometimes, yeah, I know, Bill, that's what I was saying right after that. The thing of it is sometimes people will require you to sign for a package. So, when you have all that, it would be great to have it all on camera. It may not help you at that moment, but it may help in trying to find somebody. And they do look legit sometimes. And I guess these men look legitimate as well. So, anyway, that's another thing that happened that nobody's talking about in the news. Now, I'm sure everybody is aware of what they're saying about Sheriff Clark. Good for you, LA child. You have a ball bat by your front door. Yeah, it could have been. Could have been Patrick. They knew it was just the grandmother and the baby there. They probably, these people do watch your house. They watch to see what you do. They also watch how you come and go. You know what I mean? They if you drive to work every day the same, you take the same route. If people are watching you, they can see that, and they can tell what you're doing, what your schedule is. Robin says she has only one door into her condo and never opened the door before asking who it is and peeping through the hole. Don said he has sensors on the driveway and cameras along the road up to the house and garage. Yep, good idea. So with Sheriff Clark, it's the attempt again by the left. I don't know if you read the article. I put it at SusanKnowles.com when I wrote about Sheriff Clark, but there's a guy who is a liberal Democrat who found out through Sheriff Clark announcing it, which, by the way, he wasn't supposed to make that announcement ahead of time like that. But he announced that he was going to be taking that job, and the guy who is in the position now was really mad about it and started on Twitter and every other place talking about David Clark and how bad he was and on and on and on. I mean, it was really bad, and Twitter went crazy with it, with the people that followed this guy. The canary system is good. Yeah, you can find plagiarism in almost anything. So what happened was with Sheriff Clark, they're saying that when he went to this school, it's a naval postgraduate school. It's located in Monterey, California. It's very, very pretty area, very nice school. Usually it's, the Navy goes there. He was writing a paper on making U.S. security and privacy rights compatible. That was his thesis. And what happened was he graduated in 2013, LA Child said. And it was his thesis, yes, his master's thesis. And supposedly he put in there were 47 incidences, according to CNN, that said that he when he wrote this paper, he didn't put quotation marks around what he was quoting, but he did give footnotes and he gave credit. So apparently there's this guy, and you can go to his Twitter feed. It's at Kyle, at K File. So that's K F as in Frank, ILE, KFILE. And he used to work at BuzzFeed. So he's the guy that's making all these allegations. That's good, Hugh. Hugh put up fake cameras from the dollar store as a deterrent. So he's the one that also wrote about Rand Paul and Monica Crowley and said that they were doing some plagiarism a long time ago. I don't know. I have no idea. The guy, if it says BuzzFeed on it after what they did with President Trump a long time ago, I just don't pay any attention to BuzzFeed. I used to like their little doggy videos they put up. I don't even follow those anymore. I don't do anything with BuzzFeed. So anyway, that they're saying now that's plagiarism. Exactly, LA Child. I made that point yesterday on my Periscope to somebody. Basically, why didn't anybody in the school hand the paper back to him and say, hey, you didn't put quotation marks here. We need you to go back and do that. I know, BuzzFeed. Ugh. I know, Amanda. Yep, that's the big deal. Quotation marks. It is pathetic, Robin. I mean, it's the best they got. Now, if he had put everything in there and not given credit, then you could say, yeah, that's plagiarism. But he quoted, well, he gave credit to and put in footnotes and just didn't put the quotation marks. It is clickbait, Don, and they're hoping that the public looks at it that way, that they will start to believe it. But they even went so far as to say, well, this is what the school says is plagiarism, and David Clark is denying everything. I know, Jerry. They don't move on. They can't move on. They've got to do anything that they can. I mean, it just that was probably one of the most pathetic moves I've ever seen. Tip Yeah. Left changing the language and meanings. They always do, ABA. Was Monica cleared? I don't know, Robin. Probably. I mean, she's still out there doing stuff, so I'd imagine. Yeah. He didn't put quotation marks. Woo! There's some people that guy on the left, as I was telling you, who didn't like the fact that Clark is getting his job. I mean, they were starting to say some pretty nasty things about David Clark. It's a systematic effort to take down anything pro-Trump, Asher said. Yes. And Asher says Monica Crowley was cleared, and David Clark's going to be cleared as well. And then was, right after that, they had to say something about some investigation going on with the people that work under Clark, I believe. And then they said he wasn't involved in it. But then, of course, they had to mention him. He had nothing to do with it, wasn't involved in it. But, of course, they mentioned him. So then you also, Clark fights back similar to Trump, so they might be why they hate him so much. Probably. Yeah, they don't like his outspokenness. Donald says it's a leftist school system too dumb to grade a paper. Too dumb to grade a paper. Yeah, it's about a death in the jail, Renee said. Which they said Clark was not under investigation, but of course they included him in it. Yeah, Jerry said go research K-File, just 24 hearts. I know, come on, help. 24,000. More hearts, please. More hearts, please. So the Twitter co-founder, Evan Williams, you probably saw that. He wants to apologize for helping elect Donald Trump. And he said it's a very bad thing, Twitter's role in that. If it's true that he wouldn't be president if it weren't for Twitter, then yeah, I'm sorry. So I know you feel like I do, that you wish there was another platform we could use. Yes. It makes Gab look better all the time. If you would, please swipe and invite in the last couple of minutes your followers, if you would, please. We got rid of the trolls, but we need more good people. So yeah, Evan is just a wonderful guy. Yeah, Renee, I use Gab too, but I find Gab, and I don't know, it's very hard to have a conversation on Gab. It's kind of like you just, I don't know, it's not like Facebook. It's not as easy. I like it. I don't use it all that often though, because it's not easy to do that. VOAT, haven't heard of that. Gab is like a blog. Everyone retweet with expose the left. Yes, and please don't forget to continue to use hashtag expose the left and everything that you tweet out, that you retweet. Yeah, I think it'd be great to find a platform, but once again, I think that it's going to be necessary for for people who are conservative and have a lot of money to come up with some idea. Reddit is being censored, yes. To come up with some idea, to come up with a platform that you can drive people there, and at least drive the conservatives there. But the liberals will follow too, because they want to troll. So I mean, we just need to be doing that, and I don't know who's going to step up and do that. I really don't. I can figure out Gab. They need to do a YouTube on how to navigate. You can't figure it out. Yeah. Keep out tomorrow. Kim.com has news on Seth Rich case. Can I send you information? Yes. Yes, Marie, you can send that to me. It just, for me, I don't want to be going into private rooms that other people can't go in, or private rooms where other people have to be checked at the door, that type thing. I want everything to be in a public forum. Hey, Bluegrass, good to see you. And so, I want to find more platforms like that. I think that would be really great. They're trying to save it. Okay. I don't. Yeah. Yeah, Marlene. I mean, the whole idea about doing Periscope and trying to get people together to do things is to be out there in the public and be interacting and everything else. Freedom of speech. Good morning. How are you? A decent public forum, yes. Search doesn't work for me on Gab. Huh. That's what Hugh said. Yeah, I mean, I just find that the Gab on Gab, the conversation doesn't move along really easily. And I would like to see something that was like Facebook but moved on easily. There's a Tea Party one, but it doesn't have as many members as Facebook. It never really caught on. Gab is a work in progress. Yep, Marie, it is. Gab needs a lot of work. I think Bluegrass, they need a lot of money too. It's like to do anything, you need a lot of money pouring into something so that you can get the best equipment, the best software. And that's a problem. The left, they would be throwing money at Gab, but the right isn't. I don't know how to use Gab. It's not too bad, Bill. I mean, really, if you just go on there and familiarize yourself with it, it's not that difficult. It's just that you can't really get a good conversation going with people, and that's the hard part. Kind of one more thing in news that Reince Priebus, that's a private room, Marlene, but I don't use. We need more billionaires on the Republican side. Yes. Video is in the works, Marie, for Gab, but it's going to take a lot of money to be able to. Yeah, I don't. Brax.com has a lot of private rooms. We don't do private rooms. I mean, if people want to go to private rooms, that's your business. I'm not. I'm not going to go on an app that you have to have private rooms that only certain people can go there and blah blah blah. It's not what I want to do. Yeah, I know, ABA. Those days are long over. I just saw breaking news that the top U.S. motorcycle racer is dead. Nikki Hayden. I guess he crashed. That's all I know about it. Yeah, if Gab had backers, they could do it better. Yeah, exactly, Marlene. Just DM me, but I'm not doing scopes from private rooms. Yeah, they do have backers, Marie, but it doesn't seem like they have a lot of money pouring in. I'd asked them about being able to do scopes there. I know, Bill. I'm 2,685 miles from the White House. Um, I asked them about doing the video from there, and they say right now they can't afford to have everybody doing it, only certain people with, I forget X amount of viewers. No, I didn't. Shauna said something about a terror attack in Toronto. I haven't heard about that. There's an alternative to Facebook called Scene.life. No banning or censorship. Haven't heard of that. Who puts that out, Hugh? We're all the conservatives to fund our own apps. They don't put money towards that. Yeah, I think, part of it is that still in beta testing. Hello, Danielle. Good to see you. I think it's going to take a while. And if people, they're so used to having like Facebook and not having to pay for it, they don't want to go and get a subscription someplace else and pay for that. They would rather just stay on what they have. And I get it. But, things don't work for free. Okay. So that that could be a problem. So anyway, I didn't break my. Yay, Bill! I'm glad it wasn't a break. Oh, thank goodness. Ligaments are going to be even probably harder to heal, though. Bill, downside is you're going to have to really take good care of that. So anyway, you guys, I have to go because I have another show. I have a live show in an hour on Facebook. Information if you at susanknowles.com if you want to check that out. And I will see you guys later. Hope you get to listen to the president's speech with Israel. And yes, we are being censored, Marie, and we do have to start fighting back. You guys have a great day. Thank you, Facebook, for coming. Thank you, Periscope, for coming. Thank you, everybody, for coming on YouTube. I'll talk to you later. Have a great day.